If I had to pick one of these to pick up in game right now, it's going to be the Steel Series.
Let's just say, it was a great night. Take the challenge at steelseries.com.
So welcome everybody to the Go Champions League. This is the second map between Dignitas and PENTA. PENTA won the first map, that's 16-6, and it was quite a surprising scoreline. You know, PENTA of course is a top tier team, and they rightfully won that map, but I didn't expect the scoreline as decisive as that. I already said that a few minutes ago. And I actually expected Dignitas to win the whole match. 9-6 in the first half in favor of the terrorist squad of PENTA, and they just went through the Dignitas squad like a warm knife through butter. They won the pistol round, and then they just kept pulling away with the scoreline. So now Mirage, I already said it before, Mirage is going to be a different story. I think Dignitas is a little bit stronger on Mirage. They took Hellraisers down 16-8 just yesterday, and it was a really good showing by them. So they try to build up on that, and of course the CT side start would be the best that they can hope for right now. We should head into the knife round in a second. The teams are ready, and so are the streamers. So I will adjust the score on top as well. Let's see if Dignitas can win the knife round and start off on the CT side. It is quite important on Mirage. It is a CT-sided map, just like almost every single map in CSGO right now. But if they start on the terrorist side, they need to find something to kick off their momentum and to get them motivated again. I think that 16-6 loss on Dust 2 was something that damaged their motivation a little bit. And MSL is walking in with 3 frags over there, 4 even in the knife round. Wow. MSL on fire, at least with a knife, and maybe this was one of the deciding facts in this matchup already. Winning the knife, of course, starting on the CT side. Dignitas now facing off for the second map against PENTA, who are on the terrorist side, and they did do a really good job on Dust 2. Especially Nex had 20 frags in, I think it was 16 rounds or something like that. He was simply on fire on the first map. If he can do the same that he did on the first map, maybe Dignitas can't actually win this game no matter what they do. If Nex keeps demolishing faces left and right, there's not much that Dignitas can do about that. PENTA with the build-up through underpass, 3 people executing into middle. Finding control of that part of the map is of course crucial for the terrorists. And even though they have some trouble boosting up one of them, Nico is going to work, but they have first headshot there. PENTA still doesn't know where he's coming from, and I think it was from short. The boosted player was a little bit too exposed, and the CTs fall back into the deeper positions on the B bomb site, leaving A up for grabs. But MSL is there on the A apartments, taking out Speedy now next on the opening. He finds himself the first frag. Finally something to work with for the terrorists. NKJ closes out 1 as well. Crystal with 1 as well, making it a 2v3. Suddenly the odds are turned into the terrorist favor. Crystal spots one of the CTs coming from CT spawn. He tries to flash himself in there, but he doesn't find Kierby hiding away in the CT spawn, trying to find the kill, but he doesn't. Crystal walks out with 70 HP remaining, and there is NKJ with the second of the round. And wow, Nex with that really fast shot onto Kierby makes it 1-0. PENTA managed to get out of that pistol round, even though they were down 2 men, and all that thanks to every single player finding his own frag. PENTA had NKJ, Crystal and Nex. Each of them had 1 frag when they entered the A bomb site, and it was of course turned upside down. The CTs couldn't recover from that anymore. Now Dignitas is on the force buy. The CZ-75s for 3 of them scout for Nico, as we are used to see from Dust 2. Look at MSL though, taking out Dennis on a apartments and picking up that rifle. Oh no, actually not. Well, now he does. Picking up that AK that Dennis just dropped. The rest of the terror squad is gathered on B apartments. Actually, Pimp gets himself one kill on there. As Speedy and Krista though recover control of B apartments. Penta tries to execute on the B bomb set, but they have to fight against a major opposition. AZ with the CZ75, then MSL with the AK. Suddenly it's a 2v1 in favor of the CTs in this anti-eco round. Speedy down to 10 HP. He could be killed by any bullet of any weapon in the game. And Nico already spotted him. MSL is close by. MSL holding that one angle. Nico just tagged down to 30 HP there. Speedy trying to pick up the bomb, but there's one player dancing around the pillars together with him, and MSL gets him from behind. 3 frags for MSL with that AK that he opened up the round with. It was just amazing. Dignitas are happy to have him, even though he wasn't the top fragger in the first map. He now made it happen for them, and he drew the momentum back into their favor. Just like I said, they need to find something to motivate them, and maybe this second round was what they were looking for. Penta now still with 2 AKs. Dennis and Speedy decide to buy up, even though they don't have any equipment except for that last smoke in the hands of Dennis. The terrorists try to do whatever they can, and they try to do it with headshots. One of them goes into the favor of the CTs, with AZ opening up in middle. 4v5 early on. Penta with the uphill struggle in this round. Nico with the Galil makes it work on Speedy. Dennis with a ferocious try to get the frag back through the smoke, but he misses all of his bullets. Now Nico on the hunt for another frag, finds himself the kill onto Crystal. Pimp with one in the meantime, making it a 1v5. NKJ, the stand-in, tries to get back on the round against 3 CTs on the A bomb set. It's going to be hard, and he's got 40 seconds to work with, so it's not a lot of time to do what he's expected to do, and he's expected to kill at least 3 of them to plant the bomb. Then 2 of them will be on the rotation, so he could as well just save the weapon for the next round, or just try to make it as expensive for the CTs as possible and stay alive on top of that. And maybe this is what he's going for. There's no actual point in committing to this round anymore for him, and he's just checking the corners, turning left and right, expecting the CT's aggression any moment. But Dignitas just stay back. They want to have their own economy a little bit higher before they go for those exit frags. The time will run out, and Dignitas will save all the weapons. That was what they were looking for, and they are going for the defensive play. They expect Penta to not do too much damage with that one AK, even though Dignitas themselves did quite a really good job with MSL picking up that AK in the second round and stopping the B push with it. So Penta maybe has a chance if Dennis gets the first frag somewhere and opens up a major hole in the CT's defense. On the other side, Dignitas just holds on to their basic positions. They know that Penta is saving right now, so they don't go for any information or any aggression. There's no use in exposing yourself to maybe 3 or 4 Glocks. And if you're caught in between those Glocks, you're of course picked apart. Even if you get 1 or 2 kills off, it's not going to be enough. There is Dennis with the opening frag onto MSL in the A bomb site. This angle must have been covered by the CTs, but somehow they miscommunicated and left it open for the terrorists to capitalize on that. Tristan now with the M4A1 that he picked up. He picks up 2 frags in the A bomb site. 4v2, 4v1 thanks to Nexus kill with the Galil, and the terrorists will turn it into their favor once again. The save round, and that 1 AK that they have saved from the round before is the game changer for Penta. They make it 2-2. Almost Crystal got himself 2 frags with the M4 that he picked up, but Dennis with that opening kill in the A bomb site enabled the terrorists to get that rifle, and then made the CTs worry And they were definitely not in the position to get back into the round anymore. They were just stomped by the terrorist aggression. Penta now on another A attack lineup. MSL this time will get the first, but Speedy with the instant reply. Speedy with the second, entering the A bomb site. Nico though with the re-reply, and NKJ takes him out in turn, makes it a 3v2. Nexus down to 22 HP, but the bomb gets planted. And Penta has the CT smoked off. Jungle gets smoked off. Dennis is flashed to death, and Kierby will put the last nail in his coffin. Puts him to sleep for now. Makes it a 2v2. NKJ in behind those boxes, and next on the A apartments. Dignitas already expects them to be right there. They smoke off the boxes, and a bomb is going to tick loud and louder. They need to hurry up. There's not much time left on the clock, and they will waste the chances. They didn't find NKJ in time, and sometimes staying alive is all that a terrorist must do to win a round. Penta with a third on the board, even though Dignitas almost made it back into this one. The CT's money is looking horrible right now, and Penta might get another round on the board. And if they make it 4-2, the CTs would be on a full save, even more so now that they have purchased everything they can afford. CZ 75 for MSL and Kierby, FAMAS for AZ, and of course the two saved rifles in the hands of Nico and Pim. And Penta now with a defensive setup on the A bomb side. They push middle together. 3 players over there opposed by 2 CTs. And NKJ just holds on to A main. The first aggressor, MSL, gets taken out with a CZ-75. Not too big of a loss for the CTs. They at least got the information that there's only one terrorist in front of A main. And now they can rotate accordingly to that information if Penta doesn't juggle around their players, of course. They still have 5 alive, even though Dennis is more of a zombie right now. 17 for him. And Penta will actually rotate to the B bomb set and fully commit to that, with Speedy on the verge of entering the bomb set against Kierby's CZ-75. Next is still holding on to middle, trying to find a CT on some aggression or some informational play. But that won't happen. Pimp already spots them and listens to them in B apartments. Speedy tries to fake some kind of a retreat as Dennis moves in. He gets himself the first frag. Kierby answers straight away. NKJ not able to take him down. Kierby just crouches away into cover as Next disposes of AZ. Speedy gets himself the kill onto Kierby. And Nico is the last man standing. He's already covered by Speedy. 4-2 in favor of Penta. That force buy didn't do what it was expected to do, and maybe Dignitas should have gone for some aggression, but on the other side, Penta probably would have expected that aggressive move due to the fact that they have saved 2 weapons and maybe want to use those 2 weapons in middle or something like that. Now the CT's back to a full save. CZ-75 for Kierby, but that's basically all they can afford. And at least Kierby gets himself the kill onto Dennis. Then AZ with 1 onto Nex. AZ is now down to 6. MSL down to 10. NKJ even shoots the corpse that gets blown onto the wall by AZ. And MSL on the backstab, but it won't actually help him too much. Maybe he can interrupt Crystal a little bit or get the frag with that AK. But NKJ and Speedy should be around to get the refrag no matter what MSL is able to do against Crystal in this situation. And he doesn't even know where Crystal is. Crystal will take him out with the pistol. Good job by Penta, making it 5-2 on the terrorist side. This is a really good scoreline already. They were looking for at least 4 in this half, and 5 is definitely making them happy. If they get 1 or 2 rounds on top of that, it would be perfect for the Germans. And Dignitas smell defeat. Let's see if they can actually hold on to the pressure and hold on to their positions on the CT side. It's going to be an important round for the match, deciding if Dignitas can come back or not. 2 CTs in middle, accompanied by Nico from behind. And at least the CTs have middle under control. MSL is really defensively set up on the A bomb site, and so is Pimp on B. On the other side, Penta send Crystal forward to find some information, and they know that there's nobody around the A bomb site anymore. MSL gets taken out by NKJ from A apartments. Good teamwork by Penta to have NKJ ready and set to go for that take of the A bomb site. He actually faces again, but now he's a little bit too hesitating. The terrorists swing around to the B bomb site, and they don't expect Kjaerbye to come in from the back. Kjaerbye in A main. Look at the position of the players. Kjaerbye finds himself the kill onto NKJ. AZ goes to work onto Dennis. It's a 3v4. And Pimp is looking for the terrorist on the B bomb site. He finds himself the kill. Good job by Pimp to interrupt the bomb plant. And now it's Nex and Crystal to fight against it. 3 CTs. Nex is not able to get the better of AZ. And Crystal is alone. He's already spotted by Kjaerbye through the smoke. And Team Dignitas win a much needed round. And it was all over the place. 2 terrorists were here. Kjaerbye was here. NKJ was... he actually was in A apartments over here, and 2 more terrorists were over here. So it was all over the place. Pimp was still at B, and the rest was here. So it was mixed up all over the place. Team Dignitas were lucky to win that round thanks to Kjaerbye, who was coming in to the A bomb site, and then Pimp finding those 2 kills on the B bomb site. And actually, it was only 1 frag. But Penta now still on rifles. They trade the first frags. Crystal and AZ were the guys to pick up the kills. And now it's Crystal with a second opening up on the A bomb site just by killing Pimp off B short. The A bomb site middle approach is out for grabs. Pimp is fuming right now. He's questioning something. I don't know what, but it's... a major question arises in his head. MSL missing that frag on short. He could have picked up 2 in this situation, but he didn't pick up anyone. Crystal, though, ends AZ's life for now in this round as MSL and Kjaerbye are the last CT standing. The terrorists make their move to the A bomb site. Crystal walks around the corner, zoomed in, and killing off MSL. Kjaerbye, the last man in the B bomb site. He needs to hold on to the rifle for the next round. And Penta, with a 4K for Crystal, will win this round. No question about that anymore. The C4 is planted already, and they are swarming out to find that kill. Dennis and Nex will probably go that way. Maybe Nex will actually take a turn, but Crystal's coming that way. So they have everything singled out already. They know that he's going to be on the B bomb site somewhere. And Kjaerbye is spotting one of them already. Dennis now has the confirmation he's on the B bomb site, but no terrorist is close enough to take Kjaerbye out anymore. Penta have the round in the back, and Kjaerbye will take his rifle to the next round. Small benefit for the CTs. Now we know what Pimp was questioning about. He was asking Crystal if he saw him through the smoke or if he just went for the shot. And Crystal says it is the prediction. Pimp is laughing about that, but there's nothing to laugh about with a 6-3 scoreline. With a 6-3 scoreline on the CT side, at least not for Dignitas. Now Kjaerbye tries to get the hopes a little higher with the first frag on the A bomb site. Dennis, however, replies and makes it a 4v4 again. The CTs now need to find a weapon on the A bomb site, but Nex dropped it very far behind. Now look at Kjaerbye shooting through the smoke. Good job onto Speedy, but he's ambushed in middle. Oh, Nico though takes down 2 with the P250, leaving Crystal alone on the terrorist side. It might be another upset in this matchup between Dignitas and Penta. They were trading eco rounds already, and now this time it looks like Penta will be on the receiving end. They already got a few crucial rounds on this too with the Tech 9 trains, and Dignitas just need to hold on to the bomb. It's dropped in front of them. They know where Chris is coming from. They just need to hold on to those angles, and they have each other covered quite nicely. There is Nico with his 3rd frag, the P250 with 2 and the AK with 1. Dignitas are back with a 6-4. Penta still has enough money to buy up 1 more round, but it's going to be their last, so Dignitas could actually make it 9-6 if they just find out how this Penta attack works. And at the moment, it works just because of Chris's 10 kills. The rest of the squad is of course doing his job as well. but it's mainly Crystal. Tech 9 for NKJ and Dennis, so the economy wasn't strong enough for Penta to have everybody buy up a rifle, but they can now pick up the AWP that Crystal dropped and try to make it work with their remaining 4 players. It's going to be another B attack, it looks like. Next takes point with the AK against Kierby and Pimp, who are in the B bomb site waiting for the advances of the terrorists. Kierby just jumping around, ready to toss the incendiary nade at them, but he decides to go for the smoke first. Now the terrorists know that the CTs are aware of their presence and they just head through the smoke. Now they are smoked off, they are incendiary naded off, and now they're shot at by Pimp, who gets 2 frags, but Nex and Dennis close the 2 B defenders out, makes it a 2v3 retake situation for Dignitas, and the B defenders did their job. They delayed the bomb plant and they got themselves 3 kills. Well, 2 in favor of Pimp, and Nico had the opening frag already. So the job on the B bomb set was made a little bit easier. Now AZ takes down Dennis, who tried to get at least 1 or 2 frags in kitchen to stall the CTs from retaking. And even though Dignitas allows Speedy to plant the bomb, they take him out straight away. And they are back with a 6-5 now. The Danes clawing their way back into the game. They are struggling right now, but slowly but surely their economy is getting better and better. And on the other side we have Penta saving right now. Looking at the economy, you can see that that eco round from Penta actually turned the momentum around and made them win 4 straight rounds, and that was the main factor, the deciding fact in this game so far. Dignitas needs to make up for that mistake, and they need to have a flawless closing of this first half. Daisy now with 2 frags in middle, then gets shut down by NKJ. Dennis with 1 onto MSL. Nico in some trouble with 8 HP and the AWP. He's under some pressure, but Crystal goes out into middle again, and Dennis tries to get that frag. He tries to go for it and finally finds it with the Deagle spray, so to speak. Dennis now up against Pimp and Kierby. This is still possible for Dennis to clutch. He's got himself another frag onto Kierby. Now it's a 1v1. Pimp spotted the barrel, however, and he was prepared for Dennis to come around the corner. Dignitas were about to lose that anti-eco round. Once again, Penta proved to be very strong with those pistols, but Dignitas draw the game at 6 each. And the terrorists are back on rifles. No AWP for Crystal, and he did a really good job with it in the past 12 rounds. Got himself 10 frags, but the rest of the squad is, of course, close to him. 8 frags for NKJ, Next with 8 as well. Speedy and Dennis with 7. And Crystal makes it 11 with the first frag on the A bomb site. Now the terrorists get smoked off, but they are in control of the A bomb site already. Look at Nico though, tracking Dennis and no scoping him with ease. It looks like 3v3 situation. The bomb is planted. Speedy, Nex, and NKJ need to hold on to the C4. Penta could make it a really strong terrorist side, and Speedy gets himself 1. Nico and Kierby, however, have to say a few things. Now Nico is alone against Nex, who's got 16 HP, and the information was forwarded. Nico got the call that he was low. He exchanged the AWP for the 5.7, and then just went out with a blazing gun. No chance for Nex. Dignitas with the win, and with another lead, 7-1. Only 1 round separating the 2 teams, however, and Penta still have 1 more buy round in them. Of course, thanks to the bomb plant. They lack the nades, however, and they need to do something really special in this round, mainly hitting headshots. Team Dignitas, of course, double nading, expecting a fast push by the terrorists, and now NKJ gets the first victim killed. MSL is taken out. AZ goes down to Nex as well. The A bomb site is mopped up. NKJ with another nice frag onto Nico without actually losing a single HP. The terrorists were entering the A bomb site, and as quick as that, Penta have sorted everything out again and draw the game back to 7-7. Dignitas now in the last round, of course, forcing up. CSAT 75 for AZ and Kierby, FAMAS for Pimp, Nico with the scout, and Penta on the other side, feeling really good right now. I would love to hear them in TeamSpeak right now, if they are cheering or if they just casually playing away. They are once again building up their strategy on the B bomb side. AZ though picks off Dennis on B short. Really important frag to keep the terrorists at bay for now. And the CTs can of course not How often did I say of course today? Sorry. The CTs can't retrieve the weapon as it's dropped over here. And it would be a long way for them to retrieve it. Penta lines up the B execution. 4 players committed to the bomb site. Kerbai is close by. He drops the bomb and drops 2 players at the same time. Crystal with the answer, but it's a 2v4 already. Dignitas maybe upsetting the Penta squad in this anti-eco round. Once again, another anti-eco round going the other way. But Crystal and Nex are still alive. Nex makes it count with his AK. He spots another one from the back. Pimp is down to 1 HP. He pulls out his Tech 9. The time is running out as well. 34 seconds on the clock, and the terrorists are both spotted in B apps, so the CTs are moving in from every direction, and they will close them out eventually, making it 8-7 by not a good round or not a good half by any means for both teams. Actually, Penta could have made it a really strong side, but look at that. Anti-eco round in favor of the CTs. Anti-eco round in favor of the CTs, anti-eco round in favor of the terrorists. And this is the story of this game so far. The anti-eco rounds deciding the outcome of this matchup. Dignitas now on the terrorist side. It wasn't, or the CT side was definitely worse than the terrorist side, but considering the position that Penta was in, they could have made it a 9-6 easily, maybe even 10-5. But now, considering Team Dignitas' start, maybe Penta will get the edge in this pistol round. Starting off nicely for the CTs, but now the terrorists have control of the B bomb site thanks to 2 quick frags by Nico and Kierbai. And it's a 3v3 retake in favor of nobody, of course, as Kierbai gets himself another one. Kierbai with the 3rd frag of the round, closing out Crystal, and MSL is in B apps. This won't be possible for Speedy to clutch, even though he had a quite good performance in the previous half. He's backing off right now, trying to save his armor and, of course, the few bucks that he invested into that armor kit. Penta will allow Team Dignitas to win the pistol round and make it 9-7. And considering the start of the terrorists in the first half, it's not over yet. The CTs did upset them. Then they themselves got upset by the terrorists. And let's see if Dignitas can pull it off. 2 scouts for the CTs, Dennis and Speedy, will be the guys to watch right now. Dennis will probably be on B short, and Speedy on the A bomb site, attacked by all the 5 terrorists. 2 Galliers and 1 UMP in the hands of Dignitas. AZ with a 90 or 180 degree kill onto NKJ, now backing off, leaving MSL to take over his position. Dignitas on the bomb plant. MSL disposes of Speedy. And one of the CTs with a bold move through the smoke doesn't get the better of anyone. In fact, he gets killed right away. Crystal is the last one standing. He's in middle, just running away with his scope, trying to go for the scope running shot, but maybe he should have jumped before pulling the trigger. MSL will end his spree, end his round, and makes it 10-7. Team Dignitas back on track. Even though Penta had that good first half on the terrorist side, they need to wait until they get the real rifles in their hands, until they can do something about Team Dignitas inching away with that lead. And the Germans, of course, with 3 USPs and stock pistols. AZ with the first of the Speedy took out his teammate. 3v2 situation. Penta dealing massive damage to the terrorists right now. Nico still with the scout and AZ still with the UMP. If Dennis finds a quick headshot, Nico is down to 1 HP but still pulls it off against Dennis. Next though, silences him for now. AZ and MSL now on up against Nex, and Nex will be removed by AZ in the end. 11-7, but what a close round once again by Penta, even though they didn't even have armor. the Germans almost pulled it off. Dignitas survive another scare. And the Danes have the full rifles, of course. AWP for Nico. Penta with no AWP for anyone. They couldn't afford it right now. They invested too heavily in the previous 2 rounds. And the Germans need this round. If Dignitas make it 12-7, Penta would be on another save. It would be 13-7. And then the motivation and the momentum fades away, of course. And now Dennis and his teammate in the spotlight, next with 2, but Pimp with 2 of himself, drawing it back to a 3v3, quickly planting the bomb is MSL. Dignitas try to hold on to the B bomb site. The CT's already on the retake, and look at Crystal standing in the smoke, trying to go for the defuse. No, actually not. He's dancing around the pillars, finding himself 1 frag after Pimp took out NKJ. Crystal's the last man standing for the CTs, and he dances and dances, and finally Pimp goes down. Crystal on the defuse. He can still defuse the bomb and has a sprint down. Oh my god, Crystal with the defuse against Nico, who was not able to peek around the corner. He trusted his gut feeling that Crystal just faked the bomb, and Crystal was able to stay on the defuse and look away from the bomb. It must have been an inch that Crystal had there. If he moved his mouse a little bit further, the defuse would have been broken up, and Dignitas lose that all-important first rifle round in the second half against Penta. Allow them to get closer. Only 3 more rounds separating the 2 teams. At least Nico could hold on to that AWP and can utilize it in this round, but it's not going to help his teammates on the B bomb site. Next with 4 kills in the B apartments, disposing of the terrorist push. Now it's Nico alone in middle, and next with the major work right now. 4 kills, 5 HP remaining. He realizes that he can't overextend right now. He needs to stay back, otherwise Nico could get back into the round, and he actually picked himself 2 targets already. Still needs to find the bomb though, and it's dropped in B apartments, covered by 2 of the CTs. And Nico still looking for the CT's opposition. 40 seconds on the clock. Next already in underpass, looking for the ace, and he gets the headshot onto Nico from behind. Next closing out the terrorists really quick. 4K in B apartments. Desperate times for the CTs, of course. They needed that round on the board to get back on track, and Next was the right player to stand up and put his foot on the floor, on the ground, and say, you cannot or you shall not pass. 20 frags for Next right now, 14 for Crystal. On the other side we have 17 for Nico and 16 for Kierai. Penta with that aggressive move in middle against the anti-eco, or against the eco round, is kind of risky, but it paid off so far. They didn't lose 1 single player, and they got themselves 3 frags. Now Kierai and Nico back on track. They got themselves 2. And Kierai, just like a hurricane, trying to find himself another one. He does take down Speedy. Now it's a 2v2. This could be another anti-eco round upset between the 2 teams. Next though, in ambush position in the B apartments entrance, takes out Nico, makes it a 1v2, and Kierai is down to 2 HP. He doesn't have the bomb. He knows that the CTs know where the bomb is, and he needs some miracle to make it happen. And he just avoided Crystal's bullets. They're dodging around the corner. Now Crystal knows that the terrorist is in there. Good flash work by Nex, and Crystal with the frag, denying Kierai's clutch situation. 11-10 now, still in favor of Dignitas, mainly thanks to the pistol round, of course. The CT's now coming back into the game with full force. AWP for Crystal, no AWP for the terrorists. And maybe it is something that they could use right now. The Danes on the move to the B apartments, sending 2 players into underpass. The CTs have a 4-man stack on the A bomb site. Only 1 is defending B. And it's going to be Nex, who already got an ace in the round before the last round. So he's confident. He says, okay, you can leave me alone on the B bomb site to start it off. Let's have a 4-man stack over there at A. And Dignitas are not going for anything, no major commitment to any of the bomb sites. They could still make it happen on A or B. They have at least the positions to do that. They just need to find the first opening kills. And at the moment it doesn't look like they will do that, as Nico and MSL just sit down in ladder room. Slowly but surely the terrorists will swing over to the B bomb site, and Nexus still alone over there. He was reinforced by Dennis for a second, but now Dennis is going back into middle, listening to the terrorist movement. And Dignitas now will enter the bomb site. Let's see if Nex can find himself a few frags in there. He does take down the first, but then gets traded by AZ. Good job by AZ. 2 frags for him in the bomb site and 3 CTs remaining. Will Penta save? It looks like it. They are running away already. Those 2 crucial frags, and the round is over already. And it was AZ to step it up for Dignitas, making it looked better for the Danes with a 12-10. They, of course, want to win the second map against Penta after 16-6 loss on Dust 2. With a really good performance by Nex, the Germans were able to close down the Dignitas squad without too much resistance. Now the Danes are eager to fight back and draw this game at 1 map each. And of course, every single map is worth 1 point. Another time. Can somebody count my of course today, please? If the game should draw, your skins will be returned and both teams will get 1 point on the board. It would be Penta's second point. The first one was on Dust 2. Now look at the CTs on a 4 spy. Dennis goes down to MSL already. And Penta losing that first player, not gaining too much information. They were relying on Dennis to get at least 1 frag over there, but he just stumbled into that flash grenade. MSL with an easy kill over there. Penta now juggling their players around. They have Crystal in B short. He doesn't see anything, and they pull 3 players to the B bomb site, leave Speedy alone at A. And Speedy at least has a rifle, so it's not Nex with the deagle only or something like that. Speedy has the AK and he can put down a few players if they enter it. He's very, very aggressive. Putting down that flame will slow the Dignitas squad down by quite a few seconds and allow the CTs to come in with the rotation. Now AZ with a 360-degree kill onto Speedy makes it look good for the terrorists in the A bomb site. There's Nex and company are trying to get back on it. Easy gets another frag. Kierby through that smoke. Oh my god! Crystal going down. Next with the deagle headshot onto MSL, but it's a 1v4 situation. He would need to ace them once again, and the bomb is planted. He doesn't have a defuse kit. His chances of doing that are rather slim. Kierby will find him through the hole in the wall. And Dignitas make it 13-10. Much needed round by them. And of course, Penta had a really big investment in this round. They purchased everything they could, and now they are saving. They tried to keep Dignitas as far away from match point as they could, and maybe it was a little bit too self-confident, as the Germans fell short quite decisively in the last round. The Danes are now in the prime position to take it home on the second map. Dennis with a 5-7 inching forward into middle. There is somebody in there, and it's going to be Nico going down to the 5-7. Kierby in some trouble. He puts down Speedy to 21 HP and forces him to retreat. Now tossing a nade at Speedy. But of course the German will back off. He expects that nade to be tossed at him. Next though, will take down one. AZ with the refrag. AZ with a second one as Dennis takes out Kierby in terrorist spawn. It's a 2v3 situation. Pimp with a desperate spray almost loses the battle against Dennis, who was already wounded. And NKJ takes out AZ to make it a 1v2 situation. Sadly for the CTs, they couldn't pick up any rifles so far, and they still a low HP for the CT squad. Pimp on the B bomb side right now against NKJ. NKJ needs to dance around a little bit. He needs to slow Pimp down as long as he can to have Speedy rotate with that AK and have a crossfire setup. And Pimp is waiting patiently, turning around to NKJ just to shoot him in the face. Now it's a 1v1 and Speedy comes in from the back. NKJ did his job even though he was killed. He slowed Pimp down and fooled Pimp a little bit. So Penta come back into the game with another eco round. 13-11. The terrorists now on their last buy. They would need to save if they lose it. And the Germans could draw this game if they win this rifle round. AWP for Crystal and AWP for Nico as well. Nico in middle. Very defensive position by him. And Crystal on the B bomb side. Smoked off for now. He can't do anything with the scope. It's a little bit of a waste for the CTs right now. But, well, at least they have the B-bomb site shut down with the scope and the range, of course. Kierbai with the first in the A bomb site from A apartments. Good job by him opening up, forcing the rotation by Crystal. The CT's defense is now weakened to only one player at B. And as I say it, Crystal decides to turn around and go back to the smaller bomb site. Having manpower over there is, or seems to be, more important to the CTs. NKJ now checks out the A apartments. Important information for the CT squad. MSL though gets the kill on Nex on B short. Surprise, surprise. There was a boost. Nex was not prepared for that, and it's a 3v5 situation now. The CTs falling apart slowly but surely, opening up their defense. NKJ is the guy that needs to pull it back from A apartments. He's unexpected. So is Speedy. And if the terrorists find them, it's going to be over really soon. Speedy, though, takes out MSL with a headshot. NKJ now in apartments, dancing around. AZ still not in control of Speedy. Finally removes him from the occasion as NKJ ambushes one. His teammates get disposed of. Actually, Crystal with one frag and make it a 2v2 again. Crystal with the M4A1 firing away, being flashed, forced away, but now he finds himself Kierbai down to 6 HP. He tried to make something happen on apartments, but now it's Pimp against 2. Pimp gets a kill onto Crystal. 1v1 situation. NKJ moves out into the open, and this time Pimp clutches it, even though he didn't clutch around when it was a 1v1 against Speedy. He does it right now, and it was an all-important round for Team Dignitas. The 14-11 scoreline is real, and Penta are struggling with their economy. They decide to put one rifle in the hands of Speedy just to keep Dignitas from making it to match point. And Speedy needs to do some major work for the Germans right now. He's in A apartments expecting the A push, and he's got only one teammate with him. Crystal is quite far away, but Dennis with the information already in middle that there's nobody around. The terrorists execute at the right moment. Speedy finds one. Kierbai with the answer onto NKJ. Now the terrorists try to keep the CTs from getting manpower back to the A bomb site. MSL didn't spot Crystal, who was coming back to the platform as Nico disposes of him. We have a 3v4 situation in favor of the terrorists, and they are clawed in between the CTs. They are aware of Speedy's presence in A apartments, and they try to cover him as Dennis gets taken out by Nico. MSL goes down to Nex. AZ and Nico are the last man standing against Speedy, who's still alive, and he got himself the third frag with the M4A1, pushing Nico as well. Nico missing a crucial shot. Speedy only has one bullet left in the rifle and needs to back off to defuse the bomb. He's got 10 seconds to defuse, and Nico waiting a little bit too long maybe, as Speedy is there. Nico finally gets the kill. Oh, that was so close. Nico already messed up a 1v1 situation due to waiting too long, and now he was just in time to take Speedy down, who once again with that one rifle, Penta came back into the round, and they almost won that as well. Dignitas really struggling in those rounds when they actually face weaker opposition. That's quite funny to see. AZ though doesn't have any problem taking out Dennis, who was definitely the weaker opposition. Penta, of course, try to defend themselves from losing the game right now. 4 Match points for Dignitas. Pimp with a nade onto Crystal. MSL with the AK headshot onto Speedy. 1v5 situation now next. The last man standing with the deagle in his hands. He aced them once, but he had a rifle to do that. And he had quite some support in that ace round. Next now with the first onto MSL. But Pimp will close him out from CT spawn. 16-11. Dignitas come back into the game on Mirage, and even though it was a real struggle for them, the anti-eco rounds decided this match, and it tells quite a story about the pistols, and of course a story about the gameplay of the two teams. They were a little bit sloppy at times. So I thank you for tuning in. Thanks to Twitch and SteelSeries, of course, for sponsoring this tournament, and thank you for tuning in. I'm the Boo from Germany, and this was Dignitas against PENTA. We will move to Flipside against Property in just a few moments.